show is all about awaken your inner light. It's about activation, it's about remembering, and it's about purpose. So we have, oh, hello there, my honey. It's a nice surprise. Maybe I'm on Facebook for you too. You know, if your soul has called, are you ready to answer? And a lot of people are like, well, I don't know, what does that mean? Well, we're going to have a look at what it's like to ignite that light within. So for everyone, I'm Gwenda. I'm your host of Soul and Beyond, a show that takes you beyond the limitations of this world, a show that takes you into realms of the archangels, the angels, your guides, ancestors, and we have a look at everything that's going on in your world. And if you're lucky enough, you just might get a personal message as the show goes along. Hey, yay, Kat. Hello, Kat. Thanks very much. I was thinking, how can I reach you? Because, Kat, you were one of the 5 who registered for the show. So you do get a lovely burst of divine guidance. So fantastic skipping across there, Kat. Well done. Kat, we're talking about awakening your inner light tonight. And for everyone that comes along, your inner light, what is it? Your inner light is your divine essence. It is the eternal spark of you, the part that lives forever. Oh, fantastic, Ashley. Why would we need to awaken it? You know, if it is no, she isn't, Kat. She was going over to YouTube. She may be there and just can't make a comment. We're going to step into your divine essence and activate the brilliance that is there within. But what is the inner light? It's your divine self. It's your divinity. It's your eternal soul. So why would you need to awaken it? If it's eternal, it's divine, why would you need to awaken it? Well, when you come into this world, you are well and truly connected. You are tuned in. You are very much in your higher awareness. And you're still, in essence, in those higher planes. Oh, and your frequency, you're tuned in to the higher frequency. But by the time you're 7, that tuning in has been well dumbed down. It's been numbed. And you're no longer in that higher frequency of your divine self, your divine essence. By the age of 7, you've been distracted. Your energy fields have been distorted. And your connection between the realms has been almost nullified. And why do I say almost? Because it's always there. It is always there. It can never not be there. But what does happen is you are so distracted and caught up with the trials and tribulations in this realm that you no longer hear the whispers, the gentle whispers and the gentle nudges of your soul, which is your divine self, your beautiful spark within. Ray Louise, hello. Lovely you. Have you settled in? Are you mooched into where you were moving to? We get too busy adapting to this realm and miss out on that divine spark. And the interesting thing is your divine self, your divinity, has incarnated into this life for the purpose of growth, for the purpose of the experience. But while it is so busy offering its wisdom and its strength and its magnificent guidance, we're tra-la-la-la-la-la, watching off everywhere else, getting caught up in everything else, instead of listening. instead of paying attention. We really need to shake ourselves out of the distraction, out of the distortion of reality, shake ourselves out of the coma that we sit in this world. There you are, Lisa. Hello. Beautiful, Ray Louise. And have you settled in beautifully? I hope so. So when we're looking at stepping into our divine essence and activating that radiance and the brilliance, because you really are quite brilliant, it takes a lot of courage. You know, I was talking to a young woman today who was really in quite a state about her life and very unhappy, racked in pain, constantly in pain. So when we walk through what's going on in her life, you know, her soul is just beside itself, waiting for her to come out of the coma, to come out of everything that is creating a lot of pain for her. But how do you do that? What do you do? How do you know if you're not in your divine essence? Well, the answer to that's very simple, and I did actually give it to you just then. Pain. Pain, not having enough of anything, not being able to manage in your life, not having a sense of peace and calm, not having a sense of excitement about your life. Those are your key indicators that you are really in a coma, so very distracted from your divine self. So we're going to have a look tonight at how you can be in that brilliance, how you can ignite that brilliance and bring it forward so that you can really embrace your life, and so your soul has some breathing space. So your soul can really enjoy and embrace where you are at in your life. So it sounds like I'm talking as if there are two versions of you, as if there are two of you. Maybe that's why we had the double feedback tonight. There's two of you. Well, there's actually a lot more than two of you. The thing is that there is only ever one divine essence of you. There can only ever be one divine essence. But there are many versions of you as you know yourself in this reality. How you show up every day. People think it's Groundhog Day. They look at their life and go, oh, same, different day. It's not. There is nothing the same about any day, even if your job is the same. What if you were the envelope closer and the stamp sticker, if that's what your job was every day, and that's all you had to do was stamp on an envelope, close the envelope? You would think same, different day, but it's not. Those envelopes are different. How you handle them is different. How you pick them up, how you place them on the desk is different. How you're sitting at your desk is different. There is nothing the same about any one day. And this is one of the ways that we can get really awaken, get into that brilliance, into the divine essence, is by recognizing that there is nothing the same. So when the sun comes up in a new day, or the snow falls on a new day, every one of those snowflakes is different. It's not the same as yesterday, and they don't fall the same as they did yesterday. But we decide, oh, here we go again. Same old, same old. As soon as we flick that switch and decide to look at it literally being a new day, then we give the whispers and the nudge from the soul a chance to be heard. Then we give ourselves an opening for the guidance, for the wisdom of the soul to come forward. For as long as we want to stay with same old, we are in the coma, and we are distorted and distracted from that beautiful brilliance that sits within. Sometimes if you go into, Ashley, I just saw that. That's why I named my hobby business Serafina Whispers. That is just gorgeous. I love that, Ashley. That's really lovely. So sometimes when we get a little bit overwrought in life, because life can be heavy. I was talking to that young lady today about experiencing postnatal depression and situational depression. And then again, a situational depression not that long ago. You're welcome, Ashley. But even in those times, when you decide to step back and really have a look at yourself and have a look at what is going on around you, then you can change the way that you respond. And in those moments, when you pause to look around you and you ask in silence, help me now. Help me now. I need your help. Your soul will step forward right away, as do your guides, as do the angels. And you have more help that comes to you than you could possibly imagine. And it can even be in the form of a stranger that may come up you wherever you are, whether you be at the petrol station, coffee shop, walking in the park, sitting in the park, on the beach. You could be anywhere. And you may have a stranger come up, and all they will say is something very simple. And what they are doing is mimicking a message from your soul. So at any time when you find that the heaviness of this world is really pulling you down and capturing you, step back, literally step back. See yourself as if you're moving back in yourself and say, help me now. I need help. And you will get answered. Your calls are never, ever ignored. In fact, the universal law, God's law, is that you can never be ignored. I'm going to flip that around and say it's actually you that ignores the answers. You know, when I read for people and they don't get what they have already determined is what they want to hear, then they miss the treasures. They miss the beauty and the amazing things that come through in the guidance, because they're all here in their head and they've already determined this is what they want to hear. It just doesn't work like that. So when we want to get out of the distraction and the distortion, thanks, Ashley. When we want to get back from the distraction and the distortion and we want to shake ourselves out of the coma, first off, we need to really have a look at what we are accepting in our life that is making us not be happy, making us be in pain. Laura, what a beautiful surprise. How good to see you. Thank you. So when we're looking at getting out of the heaviness of life, we need to really be able to be very honest with ourselves. So we've got to be able to step back and say, what is it that is happening that is not bringing me happiness? Now, that can be a really big challenge if you are extremely tired, as a lot of young women, young mothers are. And your go-to will be, well, I can't get any sleep because of the kids, or I'm not getting any rest because of the kids. I have too much on in the day because I have to run the kids around. There's still an opportunity for you to step back, pause, take a breath, and ask, I need help. I need help now. And all of those beautiful realms that wait to help you, wait to support you, they will respond right away, as does your soul. So if you are having a lot of trouble with pain in your body, again, I ask you, step back in yourself. Use your hands on your body. The minute that you place your hands onto your body, something magical happens. You connect right away to your soul. And it's like your soul says, at last, she wants to hear me, or he wants to hear me. And you bring a different tone to your energy. So simply by putting a hand on yourself, you can bring calm to your heart. You can bring calm to your central nervous system, which is really important, especially if you're tired. What's Laura saying here? We need to be honest with ourselves. My brother's going through stuff. Just hope he finds peace. Yes, Laura. So many people are, I'm going to say, struggling. Tanya Atkins. Hello, gorgeous. Didn't see you register for tonight. So many people are going through stuff and really finding it difficult and struggling. And as Laura says, we need to be honest with ourselves. One of the things that my beautiful members of the Spiritual School of West hear me say a lot is be brutally honest with yourself. It's too easy to fib to yourself. It's too easy to make excuses. It's too easy to ignore yourself. But your body won't let you do that. Your body, Lisa Berry, hello. My gosh, this is very exciting tonight. Your body just won't let you get away with that. How does it do it? It puts you in pain. You get pain. But where then does your focus go? Your focus goes to the pain, and you talk to everyone about the pain that you're feeling and where it is in your body. Instead of stop, take a pause, step back, breathe. Why do I say breathe? And you're probably all thinking, oh, that's what we hear all the time. You know, there's breath work classes and the power of the breath. Well, the fact is, when you're not happy, you don't breathe deeply and you don't breathe as regularly. When you're in pain, you breathe very differently or not. As a nurse, one of the things we used to count all the time was the rests, the respirations that a patient was taking. And we would know, doctors would know. And that's why it was so important to look at those things, because the amount of respirations would say whether or not someone was comfortable, in pain, or passing away. So the breath is really important. And when you are in a place of pain or very, very unhappy, step back, pause, and give yourself a moment just to embrace some breaths. Give your body some space to breathe, and give your soul some space, because that's what the breath does. It lets the soul expand. It lets the soul have some space to move. So it's really important. But the honesty bit, now, sure, it's difficult to say, well, you know what, I'm really not happy at my job, because then the flip is, well, what am I going to do? And your mind may go into overdrive and say, well, there's no jobs around. There's nothing for my skill set. I won't be able to get a job. I found it really hard before. And you see where it's going? It's just making up all these stories. And again, that is the distortion, the distraction, and the coma coming into play. So if you really want for your soul to be able to bring you the wealth of abundance, the wealth of being healthy, the expanded joys and happiness, then you have to be able to recognize the lies, the stories, the falseness of that version of you. Some will call the ego. And I love Dr. Wayne Dyer's acronym, edging God out as the ego. So stepping out of that space of being heavily distracted, heavily distorted, and really in a coma, we need first to be able to step back into ourselves, because most often we step out of ourselves. We will go outwards. We will blame everything around us, from the government, the news, the newspaper, the person at the shop, the one that cut us off in the traffic. Not helping, not helping. We must be able to come within and really sit with ourselves and be able to be brutally honest. Like, what's going on in my life? Where am I not happy? Oh, and look out, here comes all the stories again. Carry forth. Hello, welcome. Zeta Bush, my gosh. How wonderful this is this evening. So nice to see you all. And thank you, very kind words. Thank you, Kerry. I'm going to put that on the screen. So when we want to activate that incredible brilliance, that incredible spark we have within, the first step is to be able to really have a look inwards. We look to the outside from inwards rather than stepping into the outside. Does that make sense? Because most often when we look outward, we actually get lost out there. We will go right into whatever's happening out there, and we've come way away from our inner self. Laura says she's been working on herself for a long time now, and you've helped me and my husband give up smoking. We stopped. Wow, that's fantastic, Laura. Congratulations. Gee, you must both be feeling much better. Yes, Cedar, it's a thrill to have you here this evening. What a joy. Thank you. So let's have a look at some of the ways that you can step into your divine essence and really activate that brilliance. The simple ones I was just talking about, because I love simple and practical. Most often people feel this world is so very overwhelming and it's so heavy, and then they pile on lots of things that are hard to do, hard to learn. I like simple and practical. What about you? So when we're looking at stepping into our divine essence, what does she mean by stepping into? Am I actually going to step into something? Well, yes, you could actually look at it that way. If I asked you to step into God's light or step into the light of Jesus Christ, would you know how to do that? Because when I ask you to step into your divine essence, I'd like you to imagine that you are opening the door to see your very, very best friend, or you're opening the door to see someone that you feel would be your greatest light in your life. And that may be an angel, it may be Jesus, it may be a loved one. But instead of that, I want you to think about opening that door to the most incredible, powerful feeling of love, and seeing a light that is there, that is so bright you can hardly look at it. And then see yourself stepping through that door into that light, into that shape. Maybe you are visualizing the shape of someone that you would feel would be your very, very best friend. When you make your soul self, your divine self, your very best friend, now you really have shifted your frequency. And the question I like to ask people is, the way you're treating yourself, the way that you're living your life, the way that you make excuses for things in your life, what would you say to your very best friend if you were listening to them do those things? What would you say to them? Or wouldn't you? Wouldn't you call them out on it? Wouldn't you say, hey, you can do better than that? Or would you just keep letting them go with their stories, their excuses? Sometimes it's easy to give up. Sometimes it's easy to give up on yourself. And it's sometimes easy to give up on others because you're like, oh, it's too hard. But is that what you feel about yourself? You feel it's too hard to really reach in and hear your soul. It's too hard to be aligned with your soul. What else in your life do you say is too hard? Changing jobs. The example I gave a moment ago, Lisa Berry, thank you so much. Thank you. Changing jobs, the excuses that people come up with about changing jobs is incredible. All of the why they can't, why they wouldn't get another job, what someone else did and it didn't work for them. But all of that is the distortion of this world. All of that comes from by the time you were 7, when you were caught up in everyone else's distortions and everyone else's put upon yous, like what's expected of you, how you're meant to behave so that you'll be loved, how you're meant to behave so that you'll fit in. All of these things crowd you, and they crowd your ability to hear your soul. So stepping into your divine essence means, thank you, Laura, appreciate that. Stepping into your divine essence means being prepared to step back. Sounds weird, hey? She's asking us to step in and then says step back. Step back from the noise. Step out of the coma. Step back from other people's expectations. You know, when I was talking to this young woman today, what it came down to was for her to understand that the behaviors of the person in her life that is bringing her to a place of pain and not being happy is because they are repeating what they saw as a child, and they are behaving the way that they did as a child when other siblings came along. Does that sound familiar for anybody? Dance of life. Oh, I do love that. Hopscotch. I used to love hopscotch, right, Louise? And my knees wouldn't cope with it now. So whenever we want to look at someone else, we're going to lose our way. We're not going to be able to embrace the beauty of our own divine essence, and we're not going to be able to step into it. The other thing is to be very aware when you step into your divine self, what's on your shoes? You know, when you walk around outside, prickles, mud, bits of dirt, bits of grass, and you've also walked through a lot of other people's footsteps. Because if you're walking around a shopping centre, you're walking in other people's energy. You're literally walking in their footsteps. So if you can imagine, what would be on the bottom of my shoes? So if you're going to step into yourself, then you definitely want to be sure that your shoes are clean, right? And that you're only stepping into yourself with yourself. In other words, that you're not stepping into yourself with everybody else that you've accumulated through the day. It's a bit scary, don't you think? So, looking at our incredible way or our incredible self, because I really do believe that our divine essence is incredible. It is the most amazing creation, and that is every one of you. I had to do a video about how I felt about being a finalist in the upcoming Inspired Awards and what inspires me. And one part of my talk was you. You inspire me because you are an inspiration in yourself. You are an amazing creation. So you inspire me to continue doing my work that is something far greater than myself, and my work that is sacred and that is a promise to the soul. So you inspire me. And reaching your divinity, it's the best thing you can do in your life to ease the burdens of life. So what helps you connect to your divinity, your divine self, when life feels heavy? Anyone? Anyone want to put anything forward? What helps you connect to that divine essence? Yes, Tanya. Whoa, you were quick there. Very quick there. Love. And it's love of or for whom? Tanya, anyone? This is what helps you connect to your divinity, your divine self, your incredible, brilliant spark is love. Now go a little step further. Oh, water brings you to it, Zeta. Oh, I love that. And water is such a huge carrier of energy also, and a beautiful conduit. For all that is, Lisa, and Ashley paints. Cool. What sort of things do you paint, Ashley, when you are needing to bring yourself back, when the world is heavy and it's feeling difficult? What do you paint to bring yourself back to being connected to your divine self? Oh, yes, messages through art. Love of myself. Yes, Kat. Yes, beautiful. Tanya, it was, you put up that love was what helps you connect to your divine self when the world gets heavy. My question was love of whom or for whom? Contemplation and beauty of nature. Beautiful, Kerry. Yes, and the beauty of nature is extremely powerful. Contemplation in nature is a beautiful way to connect with your divine self. Walks is great. Yes, Ashley, walks are great. Walks are terrific if you are by yourself, especially if you're feeling that the world is very heavy and that you're having a bit of a struggle time. Oh, I love it, Ashley. Love it. Yes, Karen, sitting outside on the grass, listening to the birds. Ashley, that sounds awesome. We'll have to get you to come on Soul and Beyond and show us some of your paintings. How would you like that? Come on as a guest and show us some of your paintings of what you're seeing in your head. All of these things that you're putting forward. Yes, Tanya, me, that's right. All of these things you're putting forward are the ways to bring yourself to being in connection with that divine spark. So what I'm going to say to you is it's very important you remember this anytime. So when you pause and you take a breath and you place a hand on yourself, and you may need to say, I need help. I need help now. Then you're going to get a beautiful response, right? You're going to get a fabulous response from your higher self. Ashley, please do email my team, support at H.E.A.L with Gwenda. Tell them that you would like to be on Soul and Beyond to bring your artwork on, and they'll let me know and we'll organize it. We'll organize it together. That would be tremendous. So nature and animals are God's gift, the Creator's gift to us, to keep us in a place of presence, and they are the beautiful distraction. At the end of the day, what is most important is to step inward, always come inward, and sit back from what is going on around you. And in that way, you can awaken your divine essence. And also remember, treat yourself as if you are the very, very best friend you've ever had in your life. You'll be amazed at how that brings magic, brings abundance, brings healing, how it changes so much in your entire life. Now, before I sign off, Kat, Lisa, and Karen, yes, Ashley, you're more than welcome. I would love it too. So do that. I'll look forward to the girls telling me that you've emailed. Kat, Karen, Lisa, you had registered. Let me see. Let's see. I'll put it here. It's a very, very easy one. Support at H.E.A.L with Gwenda. Gwenda.com. There you go. Oh, you've got it 3 times over. Marvellous. So what I'm going to do now, because for those of you beautiful souls that I haven't seen for so long, I don't know if you're aware, but if you register to join me for Soul and Beyond, it costs you nothing. It's just so that we can keep the junk out. I'll just say it as it is. Keep the junk out. You actually get recused, injured. Oh, that's beautiful, Kat. Oh, Lisa, that would be wonderful. Thank you very much. That's a beautiful invitation. I would make a special trip to come and do that. Lisa, would you mind sending me an email at support@healwithgwenda.com and let me know how to reach out to you for that? Would be beautiful. Thank you. It's much, much appreciated. So when you see the posts for Soul and Beyond, it'll have the link there, and you just go across to the link and you register. And as I say, it's free to register, but you will, if you're in the first 5 that register, then you get a lovely burst of guidance on the show live. It's pretty cool. No, I've seen you register ages ago, Ray Louise, I think before you moved, where I got such a surprise. So keep an eye out for the posts on Facebook, and then follow the link across. The link is always with it, and then you just fill out the form, and it doesn't ask you for anything other than your name and your email address. That's all. Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, it would be incredible. Thank you so much for the invitation. I would love to do that. No, Tanya. Yes, you usually do. I wonder if what you registered on was the last show, because I wasn't here last week, so we didn't have any Soul and Beyond last week. Let me just go into this beautiful space to be able to bring through the messages for Kat, Karen, and Lisa. Cards. Who's got cards? My gosh. Right. Let's see here. Karen, ankles, ankle, joints, tension, dropped your energy. You've been distracted, caught up. Karen, this is for you. They're talking about your ankles, your joints. They're carrying a lot of tension in your ankles, particularly the right ankle, and in your joints presently. And you've dropped your energy. So you've really let go of holding your energy in a higher frequency. And it's because you've been distracted and you've been caught up by something from the past. There's a person featuring here. So it's a person from your past that, and words that are being spoken that are rather hurtful to you. So you've really been captured. It's like you've caught a bungee rope and it's pulled you back to a past scenario, past feelings, and you've really been lost in yourself recently. You need to shake it off, Karen. You need to really bring yourself out of that space and put yourself in the place of where you want to be. Tonight's show was perfect for you, talking about how to get in touch and be activated. And you are also a member of the Spiritual School of West, so you know you've got all of the opportunities for tools and practices there. But your ankles, joints, and are all full of tension. You need to raise your energy. Cat Grey, birds of a feather, birds for cat, freedom, flying, letting off steam. Something different for you, Cat. Oh, I see. You are harboring. Kat, you need to be a little bit more open, even if it's just to yourself, and let off some steam. You look like a pressure cooker at the moment, where you're harboring too many thoughts. You're filling things up in your mind instead of being your usual bright self. Birds are coming to you and having birds around because it's a sense of freedom, seeing them fly high and spread their wings. It brings a beautiful sense of freedom for you. And that's something that you're not feeling at the moment because you're really having this restriction around you with not speaking. You're not speaking about something that is really causing you some concern presently. And it is to do with a family member. So there are things that you feel like you can't just speak openly. Well, write it down, go outside, shout it out, but whatever you do, get it out of your system, because at the moment you're harboring it in. It's affecting your throat chakra. It's also affecting your connection through your third eye. They also tell me that there is some calcification going on around your pituitary gland. So this too comes with the third eye and the crown chakra. You need to focus on doing some really good cleansing. Like, imagine this being like a lens, really needs a good cleanse and cleansing away through your crown. You've actually got some stifled energy around the crown there, Kat. And then Lisa, you have a look at your gait, meaning the way that you walk. They're showing me that you are off balance. Your hips are not in alignment presently, and you are carrying more weight. As you step, you're carrying more weight on one side. I feel like I'm leaning to the right here. You're carrying more weight on that side. And leaning into yourself. Now, the right-hand side is the masculine side of the body. It's also the father's side. So you're leaning into that. You're trying to lean into his energy, feeling yourself wanting to lean into that, like what would Dad do if he was here? What would Dad say? But please, Lisa, stand up and correct your gait, correct your stance. Sit and make sure when you're sitting that your hips are in alignment, no crossing of your feet or your ankles. Bring yourself into alignment, your hips and also the coccyx area there, you're getting a bit of rotation. So, and it's all very much about you feeling like you just need more support in a security sense, feeling more secure with things around you. Hello, Wendy Massey Martin. Kat Gray, thank you. You're most welcome, Kat. Karen says she was lying here stretching her ankle, her right one. So true, her deceased ex-partner's brother word is family. Yep, there you go. Michelle McDonald, goodness gracious me, what a beautiful surprise. Hello, gorgeous. How are you? You know what? I sent you an email weeks ago. Do you think you could have a look for it? Ashley, so normally we finish now. Well, we're a little bit over time, actually, 5:45. Lisa, you're leading to. Oh, right. Lisa Berry, Lisa Murray. Thank you. Well, our hips are in the basin. They are the very base of our structure of feeling secure in our stepping forward in life. Our hips represent a very powerful aspect of where we are sitting in our life and how we are moving through. If you think about the basin of the body, it's a very big part of us that is at the top of our legs. So it's very much about how we how we ground into the earth, how we feel about our steps forward, and how centered we are. So for each of you having difficulty with your hips, with your feet, your ankles, I really encourage you to take up getting grounded, go outside and ground yourself into the earth. Center yourself into the earth and call upon the energy. Send old energy away down into the earth and ask that it be transformed into love, and then draw up the beautiful energy of Mother Earth to bring refreshment and restoration to your legs and particularly to the hips. For women, our hip area is where we carry and nurture life. It's where evolution takes place. There's a lot happens in the hip area for a woman. For a man, it's still very much around a sense of feeling very centered, grounded, and secure. But for a woman, there's a lot more that goes on in there. So you really need to make sure that you're grounded, you clear the energy from that area of your body and center yourself beautiful. Lovely. Thank you, Michelle. I'm delighted to see you here. I miss you. Ray Louise, you're so very welcome. It's a thrill to see you too. So remember, everyone, if you'd like a lovely dash, a beautiful burst of guidance, all you have to do is register and join us on the show. And if you're one of the first 5, so it's the first 5 people that register that get a lovely burst of guidance. It's been, yes, it certainly is, Kat Gray. It certainly is. You're so welcome, Lisa. So thank you all. It's been such a lovely treat. And there we go. There was a reason for for the connection to play up earlier so that it wasn't able to stay on the normal link. Fantastic to see you all, and I'll look forward to seeing you next week. This tomorrow right here. Very good, Zita. You do that. Do that. Much love to you all. Much love to you. Bye for now.